Well, hey, babe. It's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. We're about to go ahead and get into some reviews, okay? I know I was supposed to get this out to you guys over the weekend, but for those of you guys that did not know, it was my son's birthday on last week. So we spent some time together and celebrated for his birthday or whatnot. So your girl was tired or whatever. So here's the thing. You guys are getting it now, and I hope that you're going to enjoy it all the same, okay? So we're going to talk about love during lockup. We're going to get into My Killer Body with K. Michelle, and we're also going to be talking about growing up hip hop. Okay, so you can tell from the faces already on the screen, honey. Our first show that we're going to get into is Love During Lockup. So, girl, let's talk about this mess. Okay, so Indy, they open up the show with Indy, and Indy is packing up to move to see Harry. Okay, so she about to pack up all her and her child to head up there to go to Ohio so she can be with Harry. Girl, you better hope it work out. You hear me? You better pray. Okay, girl. She says if she doesn't get everything together, then their relationship could be in trouble. And I'm like, ma'am, I feel like your relationship is already in trouble. Because he didn't even tell you a whole lot about meeting his family. He wouldn't even open up and tell you about the background of his mom and them, because he said his siblings, I believe, as well as his mama, like they on a different level with it, right? They're a different type of breed of people. So, and you don't even have all the details about them, but you hightailing it right on up there, I guess. Anyway, so then Indy, her mom wants to know, like when they in the car and stuff, she's like, girl, what is your plan? Indy ain't got no plan. She ain't got no plan. She just gonna pretty much just go with the flow and wing it when she get up there. And I'm like, okay, then, girl. I guess if you want to be a free spirit in that capacity, then okay. So Indy doesn't have a plan at all. She's just ready to get out of Dodge and says that she's just gonna let her spirit guide her, right? So Harry gives her a call when they're in the car and they're on their way, and she lets him know that, hey, guess what? We about to be there in a little bit. Okay, are you excited? And he's like, yeah, I'm excited. And I'm like, I guess he probably excited that when you find you a place to live, by the time he gets out, he's going to have a home that he probably could probation, parole, or whatever to, right? He's going to have an address on file that he can go to. I think that Harry may go back to the ways that he was when he got in there, but we'll see. All right. We don't know a whole lot about Harry for real. We don't really know his personality, what type of guy he is, even though he has these robbery and kidnapping charges or whatever on him. He could potentially end up being a great guy, right? I don't know. We gonna see. Okay, so there's that. Let's scoot over to Miss Gabby. Okay, so we get to Gabby. Oh, also, let me go back to Indy, because Harry also told her that he'll be getting out in a few days. So it sounds like that was news for her to find out that he'll be getting out in a few days. So there's that, girl. Anyway, so we get to Gabby. Gabby has been working as a bottle service girl at like a strip club or something like that, or at a club or whatever. She says that Chris actually would not like that if he found that out. And I'm like, okay, y'all men that be behind bars be killing me with how y'all, because y'all on lockdown behind the bars, y'all try to sit up here and keep y'all women on lockdown. She ain't doing that for her to be locked down. So why she got to be staying in the house and all that stuff because you got locked up? You want her to be behind closed doors, but no, sir. You did some things to get yourself locked up. So I'm going to go out here and I'm going to live my life until you get out. So what's up? Okay? No, ma'am. All right? Anyway, so she says that he sent her about $60,000. And I was wondering, like, how this man got this money to even be sending her anything. And we found out that he ended up getting some type of settlement, I guess, because he ended up getting jumped or something by the guards when he was in prison or wherever he was. So he ended up getting all this money or whatnot, right? And now out of the $60,000 that he decided up here and sent her, she says that she ain't got no money left out of that. What the hell was you doing with it? Out here trying to flex and do all this extra stuff with your friends. And I just feel like she found her a man that was behind bars, right? And I don't know what that was about. Maybe she wanted somebody that was, she knew where they were going to be at all times. But then she also found a man that got some coin while he behind bars. So now it's making me think that that's the only reason that she's really with Chris. And I feel like when Chris runs out of coin, because at some point I feel like he might, she ain't going to be there for the long haul, right? So we'll just have to see how this going to play out. But anyway, so she tells her coworker about how her boyfriend's mom told her not to come when it's time for him to get out of jail. He don't want her there. This is what she said. But she also feels like the mama lying, right? And then the coworker said, girl, I don't know if the mama lying, you girl. Like, you sure he ain't got another woman out here? And that's the reason why she's telling you not to show up. So she was like, well, I mean, I don't know, but I will say this, right? It's been a girl that's been reaching out to her, harassing her or whatnot, right? Interesting. So she takes the coworker to the back. They listen to some audio of this girl. Okay. The audio that the girl sent her was the conversation that I'm gonna say girl A, whoever she is, this unknown woman, had a conversation with Chris, and they talked about Gabby and him. And he says that Gabby is not his wife. In so many words, kind of trying to deny the relationship. And you can't come up with an excuse for this, Gabby, because this man is behind bars. So obviously he's calling out to talk to this woman. This woman's not calling in to talk to him, right? Because she can't just call the courthouse and they just gonna put him on the phone, or call the prison or the jail. They just gonna put him on the phone. That's just not how that works. So obviously he is taking the time out of his day to actively call and speak with this woman. Now I don't know if he got kids with this lady, which is why he's calling to talk to her. We don't know that, but what we can confirm is that she got the audio, and you know your man's voice, and he's calling her. All right. So, yeah, that's enough for a side eye. So he shouldn't be controlling anything or what you out here trying to do when he out here doing whatever he want to do, and he the one that's in lockdown. Yikes. Let's keep going. Right. So she played the audio for the co-worker. But what was interesting to me was seeing Gabby laugh. And I'm like, Gabby, why are you laughing like this is a joke? You look like a fool. What you laughing at? Okay. I don't think nothing is funny about that this dude is downplaying the relationship that he has with you as he talks to another woman. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, there's that. So then Gabby goes to her car, right? At some point we see her go to the car. She gives somebody a phone call, and she just pretty much talks about how, look, I need to talk to you. And he like, okay, then, well, I mean, you probably can hit me up tomorrow because I got this or that going on, but we can link up tomorrow. So I'm just trying to figure out, who is this man? Who is this man that she done sat up here and called? Is this an ex-boo? Is this a boo you crushing on? Is this just one of your best friends? Is this one of your brothers? Like, who is this man? I feel like the story gets that much more interesting, right? Gets a little more interesting. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys, I'm back. It gets a little more interesting, right, to me. Now, let's see. So, Haley, let's get to Haley. All right. So Haley gets to hang out with her coworker, Emily, who I think that Haley is actually attracted to, because she saw her at work. She's like, oh, girl, you cool. You know what I'm saying? You cool or whatever. Like, girl, we should link up. We should be friends. We should hang out. So that's what they end up doing. But because we can see that obviously Emily is a woman that's likely a lesbian, okay, like other women or whatever like that, I feel like Haley may like Emily. She may have a little crush on her, and I feel like that's going to come into play at a later time, right? So she says that she hasn't hung out with anybody because of Dalton and his insecurities. And he's behind bars. Like, what do you mean? And that's the other thing for me too, because I kind of feel like, okay, and with him being behind bars, he ain't got to know everywhere that you go. He ain't telling you everybody he talk on the phone to while he in there, or everybody he writing letters to or emailing or anything, but you feel the need to let him know about all of your whereabouts. Girl, you starting this relationship off wrong already, but good luck. All right. So Haley asked Emily if she would ever date somebody in prison. And Emily said, hell to the no, I would not, because that's not an actual commitment if you ask me. So what I look like going over there trying to date somebody that's already on lockdown, then they over here trying to dictate my life, like your man over here dictating yours. No, ma'am, miss me with it. Now, I hear what you're saying, Miss Emily, but some part of me feel like, girl, I wouldn't be surprised if you did at a later time, girl. You may be on this show, enjoy this show for what it is, and then at some point, we're probably going to find out that you done messed around and found you somebody in prison because you want to maintain your coins here on the show. But let's keep going, okay? So she says she doesn't want to, oh, yeah. So she asked about Dalton, right? So Emily asked if Dalton really knows a lot about her. Like, you sure this something you really want to do? Does he know a lot about you? And then Emily says, well, it was interesting because she didn't really say whether he knew a lot about her, but she talked more so about how he doesn't want her to tell her family more about him. Like, don't tell your family a lot about me, because then they're going to start getting this perception of him, right? Versus, you know, like what I'm kind of like, they're going to see who you is anyway. So, I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt if she didn't tell them, because that way, you know, when they find out about you and they see how they really feel about you, you can't put that on Haley. That's going to be on you, because the family already see right through you. They not too liking of you at this moment already. Okay. So Emily says, what else? No. Emily says, reverse the, oh, she says reverse this situation. This is what Emily is telling Haley. She says reverse this situation, and if I was the person dating somebody in prison and I was in the same situation as you, how would you respond? Like, what advice would you say? Like, what would you think of me? And then Haley says, I would think that you're stupid. So you would think that she's stupid, but you're going to continue to move forward in your stupid situation and continue to date this man because you yearning for something. Okay, girl, we gonna see, girl. Good luck. I don't think it's been too many marriages on this love during lockup, love after lockup, love before lockup, whatever it is with the lockup. I haven't seen too many successful situations, right? I feel like the only people I can think about that I'm trying to see who was successful. I can't think of no. I don't even want to say Shane in them. Because that was cringe-worthy. I can't stand Shane's girlfriend. I can't even think of her name. The one that ended up having the extra baby, and I can't stand her. And she talked real slow and I feel like Lamar and what was it, Angela, Lamar and somebody, I can't think. They were kind of successful, I guess. Kinda, even though she was crazy as hell. Andrea, is it Lamar and Andrea? I can't think of too many people that went on this show and it actually truly worked out for them. We gonna see, child. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's get to Santiba and Tasley. I think that's his name. Or Tallacy. I think it's Tallacy or something like that, right? So he ends up calling her and she tells him about hold on, what? He calls, but then she tells us about at one point when they were dating, he was dating somebody else, right? When they first got to know each other, they were dating someone else. But the more he continued to talk to Santiba, he ended up stopping talking to that other person. And I'm like, you're a fool to believe it. You're a fool to believe if he stopped talking to that other person, because I feel like they still are very much so in communication with each other. But okay, girl. What else? She decides that she's still gonna drive to Florida. After this man told her not to come to Florida, she's still gonna drive to Florida because she feels like even just the hour that I'll get, even though I may drive 9 or however many hours down there to Florida, just to have 1 hour with him to take him from the prison over to the halfway house will be enough for me. And I'm just like, okay, girl, you're going to be stuck down there in Florida looking a fool when you see somebody else probably going to show up to pick him up too. But anyway, so he doesn't want her to come and she decided she going to do it anyway. Okay. What else? She lets her mom know that she is heading to Florida to get Tallacy. Her mom looks confused and tells her she's getting way ahead of herself, right? And she asks and how she doesn't want her daughter to hold up. Her mom looks confused and tells her she is getting way ahead of herself. And how does she know if he would want to be with her for real, for real? Like, how are you so sure that you are who he wants, right? So then the mom asked if she sent any money to Tallacy. And then Santiba says that she sent like a few thousands or something like that. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess like I sent a few thousands. So her mama at this point is pissed off and frustrated because she like, I've been giving this girl money. I've been giving money to my daughter, and the money I've been giving her, she's either been using it and not paying me back, or she's been giving it over to him. And that's a problem, right? So you have no issue with giving money to this man, but you can't pay me back my money. We have a problem. Okay. So there's that. Her mom feels like she's trying to buy his love. Right. And Santiba is so gullible. Like, I don't care what you say. This is who I'm going to be with. You're going to have to deal with it. That's who I'm rocking with. I don't really care. I don't care. It is what it is. Right. So she also goes on to tell her mama that she plans on moving down to Georgia to be with him. What a fool. I don't know what kind of conversations y'all having over the phone that makes you think that you need to go ahead and relocate to another state. But okay, girl. So she tells her that she wants to build a future with this guy and that her mind is made up. Okay. And then when it don't work out, who you going to be running back to your mama and she's going to be having to hug you and dry your tears. Girl, I can't. I feel like it could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard. All right. So let's get to Indy again. Indy is with her mom. Her mom shows her the things that she learned about Harry as far as, you know, the charges and all of that stuff. Like, this is the background. This is what we know. Indy says, girl, this information here is old, and she knows all of this information already. And she felt like he was too young at the time anyway. So how her mama trying to play it up and make it seem like he is, Indy feels like, girl, he's no longer that person. Okay, he's no longer that person, so you can let that be what it is, girl. I know all of this and I still don't care. Her mom says that he is very comfortable actually being locked up. Her mom says that she thinks he may be in a gang. He might be affiliated with another group or something. Indy says that he was never in one. He was never in one, and he was young when everything happened. And I'm gonna stick beside him. And it ain't nothing that nobody can tell me because I'm gonna be with Harry. And that's just what it is that I want to do. I don't care what all he was involved in. I'm just going to be there. Right. So they pull up to a rundown hotel. And this really pissed me off when they pulled up to this rundown hotel. They went inside. The air conditioner unit was jacked up. The room had a stench, an odor, a smell to it. They pull up and the mama and the brother was like, I think that was her brother, was like, girl, you finna have us stay up in this. Whoever the guy was, you finna have us stay up in this. Like, really, we came all the way this way to help you out, relocate you, move you, and you gotta stay in this. And she's like, well, that's all I can afford right now. That's all I can afford. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. And I'm like, BIT, I would not have dealt with it. You can stay here, but you can give me my niece, my granddaughter, whoever that is, and we gonna go find us somewhere else. Okay, you can stay here. Yeah, you can, but we finna go get us at least a 4 or 5 star or some star up the way. We not staying on this side of town. You should have knew. And that's the problem for me. How do you not get on Google Maps and at least survey the area to see what's going on? Girl, at least get a street view. Okay. And hopefully the street view would have been updated for you. And it wouldn't have been no street view from 2014, 17, 18. You would have got one at least from 2020 to really see what's going on, girl. Okay. No, ma'am, you can stay here. And I really felt the way that she was going to have her daughter staying there. That was a problem for me. I'm like, girl, you should have went and got your money back. Or you should have did something, or not stayed there that day. Like or stayed there that one day and then went somewhere else. I don't know, but Indy would have stayed. The moral of the story for me is that Indy would have stayed in that hotel by herself. That baby would not have. So there's that. Girl, you don't know what kind of mold up there building all in that old rundown hotel. Probably getting that baby lungs and all this stuff. Girl, bye. You can stay. And I don't know, that just really, really, really bothered me. Because it's like, you already dragging this little girl from one state to another state to be with a man that was locked up behind bars. And then now you're not even taking her into consideration because of your money. And I guess it's a little different because I feel like with everybody that did show up, somebody could have pulled together some coins and got y'all in a much better hotel instead of relying and trusting on that thought. Like, I mean, it's just a lack of consideration. So I feel for her daughter. But either way, girl, good luck. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get to Ty. Yeah, I'm gonna say Ty. Is it Ty or Ty? I'm gonna say Ty. I don't know her name anyway. So she over there talking to her boss about her date and the date that she went on with old buddy. I forgot his name, the one that she kissed on the first date. Okay, so she gets a call from Heidi, and he says that Boston, the girl that's been blowing up her phone, he says that Boston is tripping and she's bogus. He says that they've been friends for 12 years, right? So it seems like I wouldn't trust Heidi at this point. Heidi is like, you come with too much problems. How you gonna be behind bars and you causing this much issue for me? Okay, that's the reason why I'm talking to somebody behind bars, right? So that it don't be that much of stress that comes with it. And you got somebody harassing me while you behind bars. That's not adding up. First, he tries to say, oh, that's my friend. Me and Boston been friends for 12 years. I don't know why she doing that. Then he tells her, he adds layers onto the conversation more and more, which you would think Ty being an intelligent woman, she would have been like, I'm good, right? But she continues for whatever reason. Anyway, so he says that him and Heidi been friends for 12 years. Then he said he smashed her 4 years ago. Then he said he needed some money, I guess that stimulus money or whatever, and he had to get in contact with her. So she took the stimulus money and sent it to him back in November or whenever, and she sent him like $600 or something like that. And he said, that's it, nothing more, nothing less. Interesting. Okay. Ty wants to know what's the difference between her and her. I mean, her and the other girl. And I'm just like, that is such a childish question to ask to me. I feel like that's what 18-year-olds or teenagers or something like that, maybe even early 20-year-olds ask, what's the difference between me and her? Like, what the fuck? It don't, I mean, what? I just think that's a dumbass question. What's the difference? It don't matter what the difference is. Dudes gonna do whatever it is they want to do. Y'all could be completely polar opposites. One could be better for him versus the other, and it don't matter. They're gonna do what they want to do. So why would you even ask that? Like, what's the difference between me and her? Like, what? It don't matter. If you got to tell me what the difference is between me and her, then choose her. Don't choose me. What kind of shit is that? Okay. The fact that he's putting you in a position for you to even have to compare yourself to somebody else, that's stupid. But anyway, so Hottie airs out Boston. Okay, next thing you know, we see where Hottie says that, okay, first, okay, Hottie says that he really loves her. That's the difference, right? He says he really loves her, then tells her to go to his Facebook so she can hear just how he dragged Boston, right? So he drags Boston, airs her out, calls her out all on Facebook. But while Tay is watching this, I don't know what her name is, y'all. While T is watching this, she is actually getting turned off because she don't like the way that he's airing her out. And I'm like, you should be mindful, because when he's not talking to you anymore, he gonna air you out next. So yeah, yikes. So anywho, later on, we can see where Indy ended up calling her psychic, talking about how everything is going wrong. The hotel is like this, and this is happening, and that is happening, and all this stuff is going on. So then the psychic tells her that the spirit is really testing her and that she needs to be resilient in this moment. I don't know. I feel like, so the spirit's supposed to override how you feeling? Like the spirit's supposed to override your intuition? I don't know, girl. It's Indy leaning too far into the psychic for me. And I'm sure all psychics don't be wrong. They be having points about some stuff, but girl, it's her leaning too much on the psychic for me, and not leaning enough on her own ability to understand, okay, and make sense of situations. I cannot, but good luck. Let's keep going. Max tells his friends about Tara getting out and how she may be adjusting, right? So on last week, we saw where Max ended up calling the jail because he was trying to find out about Tara. Tara done got out of jail, but Tara never reached out to him or contacted him. So he feels like he keep finding excuses for her, saying, oh, well, I just feel like, she's probably adjusting to life, so maybe I need to give her some time, I'm going to be understanding, and maybe she'll reach out and she'll give me a call at some point, right? So Max is now on the phone with a new inmate. Okay. So I think he got a call or whatever. He took that call with a new inmate. This man walked all the way downstairs outside the restaurant across the street to have a conversation with a whole new inmate. Okay. Now he says that she has a lot of experience. This particular inmate, I don't even think we got a name. He just says she has a lot of experience as a model and as a dancer. Then he says that, I guess, then he comes back and tells the guys about inmate number 2. I think he said something like she was like a Playboy model or something like that, whatever like that. So there's just that, right? The friends just wants him to be careful and not to be naive. I do not understand what Max is on the search of. At this point, I want to believe that Max is on the search of clout. Max is on the search of attention. Right. And you got a whole girl that you rooming with, that you sleeping with, like that should be your girlfriend. You already got somebody that got your back, but you rather go find these strangers. Now, either you and the girlfriend are in it together just to get on this show for some BS, or this is just all you're doing. Okay, but it's not adding up. But all right, let's keep going. That's just dumb. Let's get back to Haley. So she meets up with her mama and her son, right? And then Dalton calls her, right? And she tells him about her hanging out with her coworker. He says that he had a feeling that she was lying to him. It's the need to be honest with him. That's the thing for me. I'm not saying you should start your relationship off on lies, but he's locked up, girl. Like, then he really needs to know that. But anyway. And outside of that, why is he tripping about her hanging out with her homegirl? Like, what is the issue? It's the security that he got going on for me. That's going to be a very physical, emotional, and mentally abusive relationship when he comes out. And you can already see that and how it weighs on her, how much control he has over her, and he's locked up. So imagine what it's going to be like when he's in her presence. Sad. She's gonna be doing so much stuff trying to please him, and none of it's gonna satisfy him, right? So he says that he had a feeling that she was lying to him. He tells her that it's not cool, and he tells her she can't be hanging out when she has a committed relationship. Who the fuck said that somebody can't hang out because they got a committed relationship? Like, why? Why can't she hang out? You sound stupid. You say how stupid it is. I think she says that, I gotta have a life too. And he was like, I don't care or whatever. Like, you can't do that because you're in a committed relationship. And why would you do that? Because now I can't trust you because of that. Now I can't trust you. And I'm just like, that's a personal problem that you need to go and work out. You are already moving with the thoughts of not trusting me. The fact that you just automatically had a feeling that I was lying. No, you had an assumption because that's what it is that you wanted to believe. And that's what you were going to continue to believe. And then she just decided to go ahead and confirm it. And it wasn't even that big of a deal to me. But anyway, he gets so upset and he ends up hanging up in her face, right? I thought that was messed up. Like, how you lose your freedom, but you trying to lock her down. Well, she the one that's free. I can't, but obviously she enjoys it. What a dummy. So then she comes back to the table, talks to her mom or whatever. Her mom is confused on why she's doing this after she tells her mama that he hung up in her face. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know. It's like she's yearning for love that she obviously didn't get when she was younger, or she's still trying to replace the love that she lost in her kid's dad. Like, girl, I don't get it, but okay. Then we see where Boston ended up posting some pics, nude pics of T on her social media, or either on her boyfriend's social media, somebody's social media page. But the photos that were posted were photos that T sent directly to Hottie. She sent them to Hottie, and then somehow Boston had access to his stuff. She got in, and she ended up posting them. And I'm sure that Boston posted it because she didn't like that Hottie aired her out on Facebook. But Hottie, that is so weird to me. How can you go and air out Boston on your Facebook, and then Boston turned around and got access to your Facebook and then decided to take pictures of this girl and post them up? That's some weirdo stuff going on, okay? So at this time, T is just like, she gonna beat the girl ass. That's just what it is, okay? So, she pulls up on Hottie's cousin. She's talking to her like, yo, I need to know about this Boston chick. Like, you gonna have to tell me something because this girl don't went and took my stuff and put it on social media or whatever, my dudes or whatever, girl. I would have sued her, period, okay? That is definitely some revenge, P. And then you obtained the photos that were not even sent to you. So you went through an illegal process and hacked into somebody's stuff so that you can get these images and then post them up. What a weirdo. So then the cousin says, oh, well, I told him I didn't want to have nothing to do with that, and X, Y, and Z, and ABC, and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, girl, I wouldn't trust the cousin. I'm sorry. And then you act like you don't want to have nothing to do with it. You don't know a whole lot about Boston, but you give Boston a call on the phone. I said, girl, if you're the mutual common denominator, both of these ladies is calling you, reaching out to you, telling you stuff about each other. So, girl, you already caught up in it. There's that. Boston finally pulls up because the cousin told Boston, like, listen, T wants to have a conversation with you, but she wants to do a woman to woman. Boston said, okay, cool, I'm all down for that. As soon as Boston pulls up, we see where T runs outside. I don't know if we're going to see when the ladies get into a rundown for real, but that's just where they at with that, okay? So I want you guys to leave your thoughts and comments down below on how you felt about the latest episode of Love During Lockup. I must say, whoever thought Love During Lockup was going to give the way that it's giving, and we're not even seeing the prisoners out yet. That's the thing for me. Like, it's totally giving, and the prisoners ain't even out. They not even out yet. That's the thing for me. I'm like, okay, then. So let's see what it's really going to be like when the prisoners come out. Should be even more interesting, okay? So there's that, all right? Let's go ahead and switch gears and let's talk about My Killer Body with K. Michelle. Okay, we meet two women. Let's go ahead and put them up on the screen, okay? Because the woman at the top is Busy and the woman at the bottom is Marlena. So let's go ahead and talk about Busy and Marlena. We'll start with Busy first, okay? And the notes that we have on Busy. Not a whole lot, but we're going to talk about them, okay? So Busy, we meet her, okay? She is a mom of one, right? So when Busy was younger, Busy had breasts that were two different sizes, right? One was super small, one was bigger than the other. And when she was a child, she kind of got like joked on or whatever. And it was really, really bad. Like when she got older, she had to wear two different bras because they were different sizes. Like I think one was like an A size, whereas the other one was like a C cup. So it was very noticeable that she had different sizes in her breasts, right? So she wanted to get a breast job done for years, never did it. But her husband at some point came up with the money, got the money up, and I believe he was the one that paid for her to get her breast done or whatever, right? So there's that. It did not go well, and we'll talk about that, right? Busy meets with K. Michelle. And she gave her details about that botched surgery, y'all. When I tell y'all, I could just imagine, because I feel like nipples are very sensitive. So I could just really imagine how she felt like for her nipples to be cracking and pus to be coming out of them. And it was just terrible. So she went to go get a breast lift and a breast augmentation that she said only took 45 minutes. K. Michelle was a bit shocked by this because she's like, girl, ain't nothing supposed to take that long. Like, it's supposed to be longer than that. It's the whole process. You just don't do this in 45 minutes, girl. Okay, that's not how that goes. So after surgery, when she went and got this surgery, y'all, right, they really butchered her breast, like for sure. After she got the surgery, you know, K. Michelle said that they should have let her, you know, rest. She was supposed to wake up in the hospital after getting rest, but instead they put her in her unconscious body in the car. So after giving her this surgery that they ended up giving her, they just scooped her body up and went to go put her in the car. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Kay tells her that, yeah, she was supposed to wake up in a recovery room, right? Not waking up in your car, right? She says that she woke up in the car vomiting and urinating all over herself, okay, when she woke up. She was horrified. She said, especially when she looked at her breast, because like I told y'all, she had pus coming out of her breast and her nipples 5 days after the surgery, right? She returned back to the doctor so that he could see her, see what was going on. It was absolutely terrible, right? When she returned, they take her back to a dingy operating room. This was terrible. I think this doctor could have been in Miami. According to how it went, it was out of order. So I think this doctor could have been in Miami. So when he laid her on the table, he did not medicate her or do anything, numb her or nothing. He just immediately started to remove the stitches. Start to remove the stitches out of this lady's body. Like, just terrible. No numbing, no nothing, right? So she says that she found the doctor or something like that in Miami. And yeah, she speaks on a doctor that they found in Miami and how she had an infection. And then post-op, she says that the doctor said that they couldn't do anything about it. After her breasts are cracked, it looks like when they put the implants in, it was so infected that it started to eat away at her skin based on like the images that they could show us from what they blurred out, girl. It was like gruesome. So it looked like she had a hole in her breast. Do you hear me? That's how much they ate through. Like, it was just terrible, right? And they left the infected implants in there, or at least they left the implants in there with the infected, you know, wounds or whatever, which actually could have resulted in something more catastrophic, I guess you could say, devastating. Probably could have resulted in death, or, you know, from her getting so sick, right? So that was just terrible. When she went back to go see the doctor during that like post-op time frame, he said it was nothing they could do, but they could fix it in a year. In a year? In a year? You didn't even do this right the first time. Why would I come back? This is terrible. Sad, 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 sad. I don't know what happened to that doctor, but I hope that he's closed down. Hear me, okay? Now, she meets with K. Michelle's doctor. All right. She meets with, no, first of all, her husband wasn't too sure about that doctor anyway. He told her that he wasn't sure about it, but she still wanted to do it. So she ended up doing it. All right. Still doing it, still checking out with the doctor and all that other stuff. The process didn't go well for her. She said when they got back to the hotel room, things clicked for her when her husband asked her, what you want on your tombstone? Because he was so afraid that she was not going to make it. So he just started like, what do you want your tombstone to say? Because I don't think you're going to make it back home. Yikes, girl, that's a tough conversation. But anyway, so she ends up meeting with K. Michelle's doctor. We see some more images of her breast. And although they were blurred out, girl, they look terrible. I didn't even think, like the way they showed it, it looked like she didn't even have no more nipples. Like, I'm like, how is the doctor going to repair this? Because it just looks it looked like a big sore, a scab. Like, it was terrible, okay? But he ended up, you know, trying his best with this girl, okay? He ended up doing the best that he could with her at the end of the day. And I think that she was satisfied. They were able to get some stuff done. When he was in there looking, he was like, oh, this is really terrible. Like, this is really messed up. Had to get the old implants out of her that's been sitting in her for God knows how long. And that's been infected. You know, it looks like he had to take off the nipple, do some stuff, and then put the nipple on and whatever, girl. Like, it was just a whole lot this lady had to go through. But I hope that she's ultimately satisfied with the breasts that she got. They didn't even look that big for real. And honestly, when they gave us like a before picture of her, it was like, girl, you really could have kept the breasts that you already had, but I understand you probably wanted some more, girl, whatever. But when he fixed the breasts that she got, it don't look like he gave her I mean, she said she had some new breasts. I'm like, okay, girl, I guess how it is. Don't look like it really hint for nothing, but if you like it, then congratulations. Right? So there's that. That's what I have on Miss Busy, honey. Let's go ahead and scoot on over and get to Miss Marlena. Okay. So Marlena decided that she was gonna get butt injections and a tummy tuck. All right. Now she got the butt shots back in 2011. All right. I didn't even know they was doing stuff like that back then. Okay. In 2011, when did Nicki Minaj come out? Was that around that time? It must have been 2010, 2011. I feel like they probably was. So maybe they was doing it back then. I think Nicki had got butt shots. I don't know about the lady body, but I want to think, right? Didn't Nicki say she got butt shots? I don't know. But they was doing it like that. Okay, that's what you want to do. Anyway, so she said that she always admired her sister's body and felt like she was the one that always had the big butt, the breast. She just had the better body. So she admired her sisters, right? And when I saw it, I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, bro, y'all all look the same. How key to me. Nobody had the bigger anything. Okay, y'all was just big, and it's no shade, but yeah, y'all. I mean, it wasn't giving. So I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all really could have killed what y'all had, but I guess y'all didn't think that y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I feel like people be the worst critics of their bodies. Like, I know I am, girl. Because I be like, oh, I look big. I look fat. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I look in the mirror and I be looking thin. I be looking right. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I understand. We see each other sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could be the worst critics, whereas, you know, the flaws you see about yourself, other folks don't see. But I just felt like, girl, you could have, like, you damn near looked the same before and after high key. You know what I'm saying? You and your sister also damn near looked the same. For real. Y'all both was, you know what I'm saying, being with it, not fat like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to them. But anyway, girl, you could have stayed where you was. But anyway, girl, so she says after 6 years, okay, she says that 6 years after getting the injection, she started to know changes, and she started to notice the changes in her butt. So I guess like when your butt is really cuffed like this or whatever she had going on, something in the middle started to droop. Okay, so her butt went like this, like it started to curve and drop or something like that, girl. Something was happening, girl. Something was going on up in that thing. Right. So she says that because I think she started to get sick and stuff too, right, around that time. But because she started noticing the dents and the different changes in her butt and stuff like that, that's what made her feel like, you know what, let me go get a tummy tuck so it'll distract from my booty. That don't even sound right. I'm not even finna, you want to get a tummy tuck so it can distract from what's going on with your ass? I would think that when you get the tummy tuck, it's going to make it more noticeable of what's going on with your ass. You know what I'm saying? But if you just want a tummy tuck just to get one, then just stay there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to use the tummy tuck as an excuse as to why you got your booty done. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like you got your tummy tuck to hide what was going on with your booty. But let's keep going, girl. So she says that she got her tummy tucked, okay, to make up for her booty being floppy or something like that. Okay, girl. So then she says like 3 days after getting her tummy tucked, I felt super bad for her. The pictures were terrible. Grew some. I wish I could show up to you guys, but you know, listen, y'all gonna have to check out Miss K Michelle show, My Killer Body. A lot of people cannot handle that type of stuff, but I mean, I got through it. It was cool, right? I feel like her stomach wasn't as bad as the girl we saw on last week. Okay, last week's girl. Do I have her image up here? I don't think I got. Do I have her pictures? I don't think I got her pictures up here. But the last week girl, stomach was toe down to the flow down. Okay, Miss Girl stomach here, Miss Marlena's was much better than the last girl. Okay. 3 days after getting this tummy tuck, she started to notice that she was getting blisters, discoloration. Like she had a hole in her stomach. Like she had a lot going on. Like girl, it looked like she started to develop pus in that stomach area after getting like that tummy tuck, right? So she had to heal herself all by herself. She was her own nurse, but what she had to do was she had to go to Facebook groups, and it was a Facebook group for women that have had this type of surgery that were able to help her and nurse her back. So thank God she had that to kind of help her so it wasn't as bad, right? And I feel like the girl from last week, if she would have had like that Facebook group, maybe she could have helped herself as well. So there's that, okay? But yeah, she looked fine before, so she didn't really need it, but she went and got it anyway. And I just hate that it ended up turning out as a terrible, a terrible decision for her. So later on, Marlena meets with the doctor to let them know that she started to experience leg and back pain and even headaches, right? The doctor tells her it's going to be hard, right? I believe this was Kay Michelle's doctor, told her, listen, it's going to be hard to try and get all of this stuff out. She tells him about her experience for her tummy tuck and how she had no care and she pretty much had to take care of herself at home. And he says that's insane. I've never heard of a patient ever having to take care of themselves. Like, that's not even how that should even be. Okay. So later on, we see where Marlena meets with Kay Michelle. And she says that she went into an actual surgery room when she got these injections. Okay, girl. She says that she was in pain while getting the surgery, but after seeing her big butt, she allowed the lady to keep going because she was telling the lady, like, oh, it hurt. I'm like, girl, if you get any type of surgery, ain't they supposed to give you some type of anesthesia or something so you won't feel nothing? So you started to feel the pain and the lady still continued to inject you and then wanted to show you your butt. And of course, she probably gonna let her go on because she be like, I don't want to have one butt big and the other one loppy. So yeah, let's finish. Let me thug it out. Right? So she was happy. It's sad, right? So only when she got all that work done and stuff, and she let the lady get her this big booty, and girl, that booty definitely changed, girl. That booty definitely changed over the years. Hear me. Definitely changed, girl. That booty went from this to bloop. It just dropped. Like, girl, I hate it for her, but I hope that it's much better now. Okay. So only for the feds, right? She got this work done. Only for the feds to show up at her door 2 to 3 years later, being on her door, letting her know, asking her, like, did you get your body done over here? Did you get any work done? Yeah, you did. Okay. Well, all of these people have been indicted. Okay, all of them are thrown in jail. They have been indicted for injecting people with illegal substances or whatever, girl. Okay, so you might want to go get yourself checked out. That's what she did. Okay, she went and she got her MRI, and they told her, listen, whatever you got in your butt, okay, some of it is spreading to your hips, and whatever you got back there at the bottom or whatever is spreading to your groin. That right there sounds like a death sentence to me. If you're getting injected with this silicone or whatever you're getting, and if it gets into the wrong portions of your body, that sounds like a death sentence to me. Now, I'm not sure or familiar with how all of that works, but just when he showed us at some point when he was like doing the surgery on her, and he was like, you see these little balls? He was like, that's the silicone. And all I was thinking about was like, I don't know how all the blood and the vessels and things work and the arteries and stuff, but I'm like, girl, what if that thing get in one of them and it clogs it up like that? That's scary some. That's scary some, girl. That's just cringe worthy. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But anyway, girl, that's what you want to do. Okay, so you go on. What else we got? So they speak with the doctor. They speak on a doctor. Oh yeah. So she tells Kay Michelle, like, listen, I tried to get this stuff removed because I started to have pain and stuff. So I went to this doctor and he was like, okay, yeah, we can do this by lipo. And Kay Michelle said, no, we don't need to do that by lipo. That's what I did. Okay. I had somebody trying to remove my stuff with the lipo, and that was the worst decision he could have ever made, because what ended up happening is what she said, when you use the lipo, I guess suction it or something like that, it turns into oil. So she said after her surgery, the doctors were slipping and sliding all over the place because they did it wrong. Yikes. And when he showed us how tiny those balls are in somebody's fat, in somebody's muscle or whatever, in somebody's inside the underlayers, I'm sure that shit is hard to get the hell out. Girl, that is... All right, so the girl, Marlena, tells her, yes, I know now that lipo was not the best thing, because when I was about to get that surgery, I listened to you. I watched one of your videos and I heard it, and it stopped me from going that route. So technically, she felt like Kay Michelle saved her life, all right? Okay, then Marlena tells her that she went to get a tummy tuck, all right, at some type of place where it was like an actual surgery. Now, they talked about when you get your injections and stuff, they said something like you may be in somebody's house or like in a basement or something like that. And I'm just like, girl, why would you go get any work done in somebody's house? Why would you go get any work done in somebody's house? All right, but anyway, this girl, Marlena, said, nah, I didn't take that route. Like when I went, it was actually, it looked like an actual surgery center. Okay, for me, it looked like it was like 100% legit. Okay, so she says Marlena went to go get a tummy tuck. Okay, so at a surgery place, right? But after she had been turned down by like 4 more doctors or something, a lot of doctors told her no, they weren't going to touch her. Well, she couldn't take no for an answer because obviously God was trying to help her out, but she wanted to be hard headed and not listen to the Lord. So she decided that she was going to go to the person that said, "Yeah, we'll do it," because that person's about getting a quick buck. They didn't care about your health, right? So Marlena ended up getting it done anyway, and that's when she woke up, and it was just painful for her. She went through a painful experience, right? Later on, she links up with her brother. She talks with him about the surgery. She really needs the surgery. He doesn't want her cutting on her body no more or doing anything like that. But she said it's going to be a long process, and it's the only way for me to start getting back to myself, healing and feeling better. So because of that, he was like, "All right, cool. If that's what you want to do, I'm going to support you. So do your thing. All right, whatever." So when she gets to go have the surgery, her brother and her boyfriend ended up coming with her. And I was like, "Oh, look at her boyfriend." I was like, "Okay, he's nice. Okay, he's nice. A handsome young man." Okay, so she wrote a message to her family in case her surgery did not go well, which was a bit sad, right? But I'm glad that her surgery did go well. Okay, at the end of the day, the doctor did remove some of her butt. He showed us where the silicone was. When I tell y'all, they are tiny balls. It looks like what people like to say, the size of a mustard seed. Okay, I'm probably smaller than that. Girl, yikes. Yikes. Ooh. And that lady just kept pumping you up. Girl, that's the lie. You need to find home care. She is behind bars and sue her for her commissary. You hear me? But anyway, what else? So the doctors removed her butt. He saw the silicone, and of course they couldn't get it all out. Of course not. Of course they couldn't get all this stuff out. But anyway, the tummy tuck did go well because she had a scar at the bottom, and they completely removed that scar all the way. So now she has a much thinner, healthier looking line on her body or whatever. And I guarantee you right now, baby girl probably like, "Dang, I should have just worked out a little bit. Maybe I should have just made better choices on what I ate or something like that." But at the end of the day, girl, whatever it is, honey, just know that you are here now. You are alive and well for the most part. For the most part, okay? You may still have some pain, but at least you're still here. Okay, and shout out to K. Michelle, because I do wonder if she's the one that's paying for the surgeries, right? I would want to believe so, right? She's probably, taking care of the surgeries for the ladies. At least I would hope so. So I'm glad the ladies are in a much better place. I think the surgery, everything went well for both of them, and I do believe that they are satisfied for the most part. But Miss Marlena is going to have additional work done. Right? I think she's going to have more of that silicone work done. It's going to be a long journey for her if she wants to try to continue to get this stuff taken out of her. Right? Either that or she's going to have to deal with it. And yeah, I hate it for her because she said a word when she was like, I if my body can withstand it now and I'm in pain, what is it going to look like as I get older? And how is that going to affect me when I get older? I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. But either way, girl, good luck. We hope that it works out just well for you, honey. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and get into growing up hip hop. Okay. So let's talk about it. Let me go ahead and blow this up. So TT and Sean. Right. Let me make sure this is the right one. Okay, yeah. So TT and Sean, so they speak on the wedding. Okay, Sean is getting a bit frustrated with the wedding, and TT is making it bigger and adding more things. And he's tired at this point. Okay, he's tired of spending money. I know you are tired of spending money. He says that he wants it to be simple and about the love and about the company that will be there. Like that's the main focus. He doesn't like the fact that she has twice the amount of people attending in comparison to what they originally started out with, right? So he asked her if she's sure she is okay with not having Pep in Egypt at the wedding, and she said she good. She said she done moved on and she won't have no regrets later. Now, I don't really blame TT on this. Now that I think about it, I don't blame her. Like, if I don't rock with you and you my family member and you ain't have my best interest in heart in the past few weeks or something like that, bye. Because I feel like friends have gotten scrapped from weddings. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have gotten scrapped from weddings. So, I mean, whether you were a person that was going to be a part of the wedding, like as a bridesmaid or whatever capacity, or an attendee. So it is what it is. And I do feel like it's her wedding. She can make the decision that she wants. And if she don't want them there, then stop asking her about it. Oh, girl, not the splash be in my face, girl. But anyway, Then, just don't let them come, girl. It is what it is. So let's move on to Tretch. Tretch in Egypt. I will say this. I really liked Egypt's look. I think it was because she had the earrings and she had the makeup. Whoever did her makeup did a really good job. Her haircut didn't look as bad either. But she looked more dolled up to me. Okay. So I liked Egypt's look. Okay. He takes her to meet with a label. Egypt, what else? So she goes and shows them her latest video. And I felt like they didn't really compliment the song. I think it's called I'm a Rock Star. And I don't know how I go, girl. But anyway, showed them a video of her latest song. And they said the video was cool. They was like, they liked the creative visuals and stuff, but they truly, to me, did not compliment the song. And they high key want her to find her sound. Like, is this truly your sound? Is this truly what you into? You're riding on the backs of your parents, but your parents are hip hop artists. So what lane are you going to be in? Are you going to be a hip hop artist? Like, what are you doing? Because it seems like you're all over the place a little bit, right? So I'm sure that wasn't the only video that she played for them, maybe another one. And they're getting different styles from different videos. So what are you trying to do? She doesn't know. And that's what I want for Egypt. And y'all let me know. But I just want her to really take the time out to find her sound. It seems like Egypt doesn't know what she wants to do and never knew what she wanted to do, in my opinion. I feel like she graduated high school. She saw her parents being successful in hip hop and she figured, oh, hey, I'll do what they're doing. Then she goes over here, sees what Sam talking about. Oh, well, cool. I'll follow Sam's lead. Like, Egypt has no direction on what she wants to do with her life. She just follows behind what's already put in front of her instead of genuinely sitting down, figuring out what it is I really want to do. And let me put all my energy towards that. If it's acting, let me put all my balls in that basket. Okay. And let me just go hard for that because that's going to happen. Okay. Period. Right. So, I mean, I don't know if it's music, that's fine, but figure out your lane and then just go straight towards that. Don't let nobody be able to tug a war on you on what it is you want for your life. Say I'm over here, got you over here in MMA fighting or whatever they got going on, but is that something you want to do? No, you just want to go everywhere Sam wants to go. And I cringe and I hate it. And for those of you guys that are not aware, Sam and Egypt are now married. Pep and Tretch stood up there beside them as they ended up getting married. And they also said Lazy Bone showed up as well as Tretch's wife. Her brother Tyran did not show up. I don't know why. I feel like Tyran is the only one that makes sense, that sees that this is not the best decision for her, but she's going to have to learn that on her own. And I feel like her parents are like, what can we do? We can't. If she grown now, she make her own decision. She gonna have to marry him, and if it don't go right for her, then okay. And it also got you wondering: is Sam about to go to jail? Which is why she chose to go ahead and marry him, so she can get those visits and all this other stuff. What is that? What a fool, girl! I can't. She's still young minded, and then when people tell her that she's young minded, she don't want to hear that. Girl, go away from us with this. Anyway. So they tell her, although her parents are connected, she needs to be making her own connections. And I'm like, agreed. Stop letting Sam guide you on how you need to connect. Okay. What else? They say her parents are hip hop, but she isn't. They really don't even know the lane that she's in. We already talked about that. Okay. Then they gonna say, one of the guys said, okay, well, we're gonna talk to the label and we're gonna put together some numbers. I said, he lying. If ever you got to go back and talk to the label, we're going to put together some numbers. Girl, they're not going to work with you. They're not going to work with you. Not at all. They think that she needs to get out there and work on growing her audience more organically. All right. What else? I feel like she has to believe in what she's doing. Okay. And that's going to be important. If you want other people to believe in what you're doing, you got to believe in it too. You got to give them some type of vision. Like, okay, boom, I see where you're going. But girl, either way, girl, I guess she need to find her style. She needs to find her sound. She just lost. It is what it is. Let's move on. Let's get to Vanessa, Tanise, and Cree. Okay. Now, I don't understand why they had to film Vanessa in a car. I don't know what that was about. On a main road in front of some houses, they filmed her in a car. Y'all couldn't take her to no office. Y'all couldn't take her to Starbucks. Y'all couldn't take her somewhere and let her sit down in a restaurant. Y'all had to film it inside of a car, I guess, with this awkward FaceTime that she did. Okay. So she sitting outside or whatever. And then I was wondering, like, girl, are y'all outside of her house and her husband? I mean, her boyfriend don't want y'all to come in or something. Like, what was that about? But anyway, Vanessa brings up doing something for TT and a surprise bachelorette party as she's talking to Tanise. Tanise says, well, I was going to come out there. I'm not anymore. You know, I got baby JoJo. So with baby JoJo, I'm not going to come. Okay. I want to be here with my kids. So she's not going to come. She says, what, maybe you could get Cree to step in my place. Vanessa said, Cree, girl, you must not, was you not paying attention when Cree went off on Tanise? Went off on TT? Are you sure? So they ended up calling Cree anyway. Okay. Tanise tells her that she thinks that it was a misunderstanding. And Vanessa says, okay, I get that. I just don't want drama. If this is supposed to be a celebration for TT, I don't want no drama. Okay. So Cree says that she'll be okay with helping out at the bachelorette party. Of course, because that's Cree's lane. Cree enjoys things like that. And she also probably sat back and realized, I didn't really handle this situation great. This would be a good gesture for she and I to get back on one accord and talk to each other, right? And I also feel like that should not be an issue for them to do, considering the fact that TTU too at one point said some things that Vanessa did not like that you said, and y'all were at odds. And it wasn't until y'all both had a conversation that y'all were able to come back together and be better friends or whatever, right? So I feel like there is space for her and Cree to make up and for them to be good, right? All right, so Vanessa says that it would be great to also have that talk and that conversation. And Cree says, yes, we could be cool. Like, it's not going to be any issue because at the end of the day, we're all grown adults. True, and I just wish Cree would have knew that this entire time when she once one went off on TT, and then two when she came at Sequoia the way that she did, right? So there's that. Okay, so let's move on and get to Eric and Lazy. So Eric goes to visit Easy E's grave, which happens to be his dad. Lazy Boy joins him. They both end up Lazy Boom. Lazy joins him. They reminisce on his father and the impact that he had in the industry and on their lives. Okay. Eric brings up his sisters wanting to learn more about the father's death, but he doesn't want them to really talk about it because he feels like it's going to wake up another beast. And he's not ready for another beast to be waking up, even though he does believe that his dad died under weird circumstances. Okay. I believe he does believe that his dad did not die, how people are saying that he died. And he wants the information is what it seems like. He just doesn't want it to come at the cost of his family being harmed or anything like that. Right. So that's why he's kind of like shying away from it. But what he doesn't know is that Lazy Bone is actually participating in the documentary that the sisters are creating. But he's not going to tell Eric that at this time because he does not want to upset him. So we're going to see how that's going to play out, okay? Let's get to Twist, Cree, and Vanessa, girl. So Twist sees Cree, and he says, why are you here? He says, Cree thought he was joking, right? And then, but he told her that she ruined his party, right? So she says, it was Savannah. You sure it was me? Like, Savannah was the one that ruined your party. And he kept saying, you ruined my party. So he felt like it was both of them that ruined his party. She apologizes to him because she was wrong for doing the absolute most while at his party. But here's the thing for me. I felt like, I understand she apologized and she should have, but did Twist ever apologize to Cree for how he disrespected her at JoJo and Tanise's anniversary party that Cree threw? Yeah, so you need to be apologizing for that if you haven't. But let's move on. Egypt and Sam, okay? So Egypt decides that she's finna do this picnic for Sam. Hate to see it, okay? She is so in love with this man, infatuated with this man, and I actually do not understand why. But I'm not in a relationship, so okay then, girl. So they confess their emotions, and she says that she's vulnerable right now, and he says that he has and then he said that he shut off his feelings or whatever out of fear. And I'm like, you've been with her for how many years now? You want to shut your feelings off towards her because of some SHI you did out of fear that you probably gonna get locked up. So basically, if you were to get locked up, you won't be so hurt by her moving on with her life because that's what it is that you want. I guess so. Maybe that's the best decision for you, honey. But anyway, it just says that they were planning to get married. But Sam says they got to put a halt on getting married because he needs to see about what's more important, right? He feels like the marriage isn't as important as his freedom. So he's trying to see what's going to happen with that. And then he got his kids that he got to be concerned about. And it's like, Sam, I hate that it took for you to get locked up and get these charges put on you for you to start thinking with a little bit of common sense. Okay, you should have always had your kids' mind in the forefront when you was out here doing all the SHI that you was out here doing. Okay, Sam, you must have had your kids very, very young. because you'll be moving out. You be out here moving like you missing out on stuff or something. I don't know. And you trying to get some of your youth back. I don't know. But as much as you love your kids and all this other stuff, you should have had them in the forefront. Okay? And Sam Daddy, don't be trying to come down here in the comments and chit chat or whoever you is, Team Sam, because you'll get blocked all the same. Okay? Because it ain't changing over here. Okay, all the energy you spending in people's comments talking about whatever you know, go spend that time talking to Sam. Okay, go spend that time talking to WeTV so maybe they can make him look better on TV. Okay, all right. Okay, there's that. What else? Yeah, Sam says that he's happy for Egypt if she does go off by herself and become successful. Like if she goes off, get a deal, do acting, whatever she does, if she goes off and do that, then he feels like she deserves that. And then some, and he'll respect it. But I think also he knows if it is a win for her, it could be a win for him as well. Okay. And he just got to eat that. He should have ate that from the moment he came into this relationship, because you're not of royalty. Okay. She is. Her parents are legends in this hip hop game. Yours are not. They may be legends in another thing, but they ain't legends in this. Okay. So, yeah, if she deserved that, then great. But she also got to work for what she deserves. She shouldn't just be getting it because of who her parents are. But let's go ahead and move on. Okay. The link up. All right. So everybody gets ready to link up. Okay. Because they're about to celebrate TT and Sean. Boogie shows up. I was like, hi, Boogie. Boogie, what's up, Boogie? I don't like that y'all only give us 5 seconds of Boogie. I've literally gotten 10 seconds of Boogie this season. Boogie, what did you do that caused you to not really be on camera? Let us know. All right. He still hangs with the crew, but he just not filming like that. All right. So JoJo pops up and he grabs Sean and the guys like, yo, let me get all the guys. Sean, you getting in this car. TT, you over there with the girls, okay? Now, mind you, when Cree came and TT came, I don't think they spoke to each other at all, right? So TT is about to head out with the girls, and then JoJo lets her know that Cree knows what's going on. So TT at this point is shocked. Like, you know what's going on? Like, girl, we are at odds. Like, I know you're not over here trying to do something nice for me. Like, what's that? Right? So Cree ends up talking to TT. She says, listen, we need to talk about the issue. Meanwhile, Eric's wife and Brianna went and got in the car, okay? Now, TT and Cree end up talking about the issues between them and how Cree felt like her business was being put down. I feel like TT didn't necessarily put your business down. Like, I don't think TT put your business down at all. Y'all just wasn't really working with each other. Like, for real, for real. TT did not have to say that y'all was on her SHI list. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the person that was on the SHI list to me was Savannah. Not so much as Cree, even though Cree went and told, Vanessa, right? Because it is like, I'm working with her. I don't want to be the person to come to her. And it's like, I'm just starting a business relationship with you and somewhat of a personal. I'd rather let your best friend know that's going to be able to have those delicate conversations with you that knows you like that, not me, right? So I understood why she did that. So they just had their back and forth, and TT let her know, like, girl, you came for me. You came for me. You came for me. And then Cree said, yeah, I did come for you because I was feeling attacked or something like that. And I'm like, Cree, don't say that. Don't say you was feeling attacked, girl. Okay. I don't think she was giving you that type of energy. Okay. So Brianna yelling, telling them to come on. And I actually felt like that was kind of rude of Brianna to be yelling at them, telling them to come on because she's ready to go. When you be ready to have your conversations with Boogie and everybody else, you don't want nobody interrupting you. But see, she really did that, and I couldn't fault her all the way. Because when you think about TT and Brianna knowing how TT is, she knows that TT gets frantic or whatever, or she's not as comfortable in those one-on-one settings because we know TT is not an aggressive person for real. Okay. She's not going to lead with that type of rah, 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 fight you energy. So that was really Brianna trying to have her friends back a little bit, but it was a bit annoying because it's like, come on now. And another reason why I also was like, I can't be too mad at Brianna was because the way the situation happened with Cree and Sequoia, and Brianna got an eyeful, or she was a witness to how that happened. When the last time they let everybody back up so that Cree could talk to Sequoia, it almost went left. So I also understand that part as to why Brianna, you know what I'm saying, hung around, and I'm sorry, not hung around, but started yelling like, guys, let's go, let's go, let's go. Right? So there's that. What else? So Vanessa asked about, okay, so when they ended up getting in the car, Creed was really annoyed by Brianna, high key. But that's so funny because Creed has a strong personality just like Brianna, but I have yet to see them really cross lanes where they got into it. It seems like both of them know the level that they need to take it when it comes to each lady, right? That's what it's giving. Like, they don't really want to get into it with each other. So I feel like Creed was like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm not going to the next thing. Like, nah, I'm not going to go there with them. I'm going to make sure they get to where they got to go. And then I'm just not going to participate. But it really was because she was annoyed by Brianna not allowing them to sort out the situation, right? And I feel like she also could have been annoyed by the fact that TT was not going to let her slide with the BS, right? She didn't get no attitude with her per se. But if it was wrong, TT was calling her out about that. So there's that. Vanessa asked about where's Creed when the ladies touch down. Brianna is just noticed when they get to the hotel. Vanessa's like, where's Creed? And then I think somebody said, oh, I think she went down where the guys were, check on the guys or something, right? If y'all noticed the whole time, Brianna sat there and she ain't saying nothing. And then when somebody said, I think she's with the guys, Brianna said, she was making faces, but keeping them extremely subtle, which was enough to let me know that Brianna ain't really featuring Creed at all. But for some reason, they don't want to have a beef with each other because obviously they're both hotheads. And I feel like it's the same situation with Savannah, where Savannah knows who to try and who not to try. I get the same energy from Creed and Brianna. They know not to try each other type thing. I don't know. Or it could also be that Brianna ain't been in no beef for real this season. So maybe she's trying to change how she comes off to people, right? So Creed's downstairs and says that she would rather go hang with the guys instead of the women. I said, I know Creed is frustrated, and I think it's good that she doesn't go and hang out with the ladies and that she does go and hang out with the guys, because if she hangs with the ladies, the conversation is going to come back up about her and TT, and that's going to ruin the surprise and the celebration that they have for TT. So yeah, go hang out with the guys so y'all ain't got to be arguing. It is what it is, right? Creed decides she's going to bring the strippers to the guys, okay? Sean starts talking about how he enjoys being with his fiance and hanging with his fiance. Now, I wasn't sure if Sean was truly not interested in the strippers or not interested in the strippers because the cameras were there, right? He didn't want that. So the guys continue to like try to pressure him and put the strippers off on him. Strippers was wondering, why is he acting weird? Like, is that the guy? Is that the one getting married? He over there acting weird? Oh, I think I know why he acting weird. It's because he white. And Eric started laughing and said, but his wife is black though. Like, what are y'all getting at here? Right? Only for the wife to end up showing up at a later time. Excuse me, Sean was hiding. He was hiding from and everything. It seemed like he just didn't want to be around the cameras when he was hiding. It was like he was watching, seeing what the ladies was doing, but then hiding behind a wall because it seems like he didn't want his reactions or anything to be caught on camera, especially with the rumors that were happening last season. I feel like TT could have cussed him out and went off on him and told him he better not ever make her look like another fool on television, because people can only speak on or touch on or throw in my face what it is that you put out there. So I can't fault Sean for not wanting to make her look a fool and not wanting to be all about the strippers and stuff, because he already had enough of the rumors last year. So why do that again this year? So I can't be mad if he wanted to learn his lesson and respect her. So it was what it was. TT and the ladies ended up showing up at the bachelorette party, right? And Sean was glad because he wanted to dip out and be with his fiance. And that's just what it was. And when everybody saw that the strippers wasn't giving, none of the guys were really giving the energy, everybody ended up scooting out and leaving. So nobody really hung around. But Eric and JoJo seemed like at first they were all into it. They were all into the action. So there's that. Not into the action enough to like cheat on their wife or anything. At least I don't think that of JoJo. But yeah, you know, they was into it. They wanted a little break. So there's that, honey. But you know, it is what it is. I also caught the fact that JoJo took his ass out there to Vegas and hung out and all that other great stuff. Meanwhile, you got Tanise back in the house with the babies. So she did not come and participate for the bachelorette weekend, but JoJo did. But either way, girl, good luck, honey. Okay, y'all go ahead and hop down below and let me know your thoughts about growing up hip-hop. Okay, that's all that I got. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.